Hey everybody, I am Shaler.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we are the Tomorrow Guys, and today we are going to review our stay at the Disneyland Hotel. So recently we just took a trip to Disneyland, and for one of the nights we stayed at the Disneyland Hotel. And so, where do you want to begin?
Well, let's show them the room real quick.
Okay.
So here's a little short video of our coming into the room. And you guys just look at it and see what you think. Okay, there we go. Back.
All right, so what we did is we were staying at a Best Western across the street. Like literally, we were like the third closest hotel room to Disneyland that exists.
Right.
And we stayed there for free. So go watch our other video on how we did that for free.
Yeah.
And then, so we got up that morning and we went in to the park for a little bit. We came back, we got our bags, and we took an Uber because we wanted to go around like the front way, like the official way, because we were real hotel guests.
Yeah.
And so we stayed, and when we went to check in, I had requested an early check-in. I was a little disappointed. We got there at 1:20.
Yeah, 1:20.
1:20 is when we got there, and I went to check in. Our room wasn't ready, so I was a little disappointed at that. And you know, when you're dealing with Disney, if you request an early check-in, you're not guaranteed.
Right.
You're not guaranteed that they turn those rooms in and out all the time.
I think it's different in California than it is in Disney World. I've gotten early check-ins almost every time in Disney World. I've requested them, gotten them in.
Wow.
I've gotten in it. Well, you and I last time
yeah,
we went,
that's
we got
right.
in we were there at 10:30 or 11, and our room was ready when we got off the airplane. So you know, I think it's the difference in the two resorts.
So she said, I gave her my phone number. She actually gave me our room keys, and she said, I will text you when your room's ready. You will have to come back here, and then you can use this room key to go check in. I thought, that's great. But then there was a problem. This is a very small problem, but there was a problem. So we went to go grab lunch.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a problem.
So we sit there, and we're at lunch, and, 45 minutes later, maybe it was before 3 o'clock, so it was,
we were still at lunch.
Yeah, we were still at lunch. Maybe it might have been like 2:15. We get the text that says, hey, your room's ready. You're in room, it was 2806.
2880. 2688.
We're in 2688.
That's what
Here, your room's ready. You're in room 2688. I could probably pull up the text if I wanted to.
And we thought,
so we're like, great. Yeah. Now here's the problem.
No, hold on a second. So you would assume a hotel with 3 towers, that the first number would be the number of the tower. So we just had to figure. We thought, hey, it's just tower number 2. So we went to the middle tower, and we get there, and we thought we thought we'd had the right one. So we get there, and
so we thought we were in tower 2.
Right.
Boy, were we wrong.
Well, hold on a second. But here's the weird thing: is that it had 22, like 50 to 2262 rooms. Okay, that's weird. It was like, hold it, why is it beginning with a 2?
Right.
And it's all this stuff. So then we get to tower. Did we go to tower?
So we went first to the Adventure Tower.
Right.
Which is the original tower. We're like, oh my goodness, are we in the original tower? And then we're like, no, I think we're in the Fantasy Tower. So then we went all over to the Fantasy Tower, and we're like, no.
Well, long story short,
so
we had to go to all 3 towers.
We went to all 3 towers. So one of our little critiques is when you send people text and it says, hey, your room is ready, so you should say, your room is ready. You are staying in the Frontier Tower in room 2688. I was like, this is the Disneyland Hotel. Somebody has not thought of that yet?
It's a minor. I don't think it's minor. I think it's actually major.
Yeah.
They should have put in there what tower it was.
So
that was it.
So then we went up to the room. The room itself is spacious.
Hold on a second.
Oh, sorry.
We walked into the lobby
of
the tower, and what's sitting there was the giant model of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Yeah.
And we were like kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. It was the actual Imagineering model of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And boy, that makes you feel like, okay, we're at Disneyland Hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Now, go ahead. Sorry I stepped on you, but
no.
Go up to the room.
We went up to the room. The room is spacious, as you saw in our video.
Yeah.
There was a sleeper sofa, so if you ever wanted to take, and cram a bunch of people into the room.
Well, if you're a family and you're a family of 5, you can put mom and dad in one bed, 2 kids in the other, and put the little one on the sleeper.
Yeah. The only tough part about that would be there was only one vanity mirror, like in the bathroom area.
Yeah, that's one of my dings on the room. The room's plenty big. It's a spacious room. It's a big hotel room. For a standard room, it's really big. But there is only one sink, and it's like for a family of 5, which they could sell that for a family of 5. You need 2 sinks. Even in Disney World, even the moderates have 2 sinks, and on up. And so it's like, why don't you have 2 sinks? I mean, that's the thing I didn't understand. But everything was nice. I mean, the appointments, the decorations, the furniture, the beds were absolutely top notch. I mean, they were. I mean, that bathroom, even though I thought it was kind of small, and that's the only thing small about the thing was the bathroom. It was, it was granite countertops. It was beautiful. Everything was great. I liked the little shelf above the sink where you could put you could lay your toothbrush up there without having to put it down on the main surface. My wife likes that kind of stuff. I recognize that now. But the special thing, I think, the little added touch was the headboard. Right.
The headboard, there was a little switch right on the light in between the beds, and when you'd flip it on, the headboard was like a wooden carving kind of the Sleeping Beauty castle, and there were fireworks on there. When you hit the switch, the fireworks would light up, and it would play a little bit of When You Wish Upon a Star.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like a kiss goodnight for everybody.
We had a pool view.
I can't talk about we had a pool view.
Yeah,
but I can't talk about the pool. You went to the pool.
I went to the pool. It other than the fact that it's the Disneyland hotel pool, it's kind of a pool. I like the monorail slides. I like the fact that the monorail in the slides is the old original Bob Gurr monorails. It's kind of a throwback to the past. Yeah. And the Disneyland sign right above those slides is that old, 1955 sign. But it's cool. It's not as cool as it used to be when that was all an open area where you could have a little boat and drive around.
Right.
But it's nice.
The history of that place is cool.
Yeah.
If you walk around the main building, and even the individual towers, there are photographs of what it used to be like, and that's really cool. I mean, that's fascinating to me as a Disney history buff. So there's a lot of history there for you to experience, and you've got you do have Trader Sam's, which we talked about in another episode, which is amazing. One of our favorite places to go.
Yeah.
But next door to that, we experienced Tangora Terrace for the first time.
So our room was great. Our beds were nice and comfortable. It was spacious. That part was excellent. We got up. I thought we had a great breakfast.
It was a good breakfast. I mean, it wasn't free.
No, it wasn't free.
But it was better than free. The food was better.
It was pleasant. We went down to Tangora Terrace. You can go to the Goofy's.
You can go to Goofy's Kitchen.
Goofy's Kitchen. That's a character breakfast. That's going to be like a $30 or $35 buffet.
It was $35 for breakfast and $45 for lunch.
Yeah, so that's it was a little too much. That wasn't really what we were looking for breakfast. But we had I got the French toast and I got some eggs and I had turkey bacon.
Was the French toast $9.50 or $8.50?
Yeah,
it wasn't.
So you can do breakfast for $10.
Yeah, you can.
And we had some coffee and we just sat out there for probably 45 minutes and sipped some coffee and ate some breakfast.
Yeah, and there's inside seating which is very minimal, but the outside seating is like on a deck overlooking the pool.
Yeah.
Very lush greenery.
And I just felt like I'm on vacation.
Right.
It was like a leisurely morning. You get up, you stroll down to breakfast, and you relax, and you're like, I'm on vacation. So I thought that was nice.
And of course, Steakhouse 55 is there. So if you want a high-end meal at night, that's great.
We want to talk about when it was time to go. Checkout time was at 11.
Yeah, and I think we're about to get into the negatives.
Okay.
Because that was a negative to me. You talk about it. You talked to the person the night before.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So checkout time was at 11, and then I called that night, and I requested a late checkout. And I said, hey, can we have a late checkout? And she responded, and she said, we're not gonna know until 6:30 in the morning. That's when we start taking late checkout requests. So we set our alarms, and Jonathan called down there at 6:28 in the morning.
Yes, I did. I called 6:28, and the lady said, due to how full we are, we're not granting any late checkouts. And quite honestly, they knew that the night before.
Yeah.
They knew it. They just knew it. I mean, and it's like, basically, this is where I start dinging them for customer service. The person the night before could have told us that very simply and said, hey, we're full up. We're not going to grant anything in the morning. And I think that she just punted to the next person. She just passed the buck for them to tell us something bad news.
And I think even if they knew they weren't going to do it, they should have at least said, hey, just to be honest with you, we are full. You can call at 6:30 in the morning, but it's going to be unlikely. They didn't even say that. They just said...
And I wouldn't have gotten up at 6:28 or whatever to ask.
But they just said, no, we take the request at 6:30. Yeah. First come, first serve. And then we got up and called, and, he got up and called.
Right. Well, then in relation to that, Shayla's sitting there. Shayla's done a lot more traveling than I have, and Shayla's like, hey, they don't ever kick you out at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
What happened at 11 o'clock?
So, I've been told checkouts at 11 or noon, and I've sat in a hotel room until 3 or 4 before. I mean, it's not until they come around and start cleaning the room you actually have to leave. Everybody knows that.
Right.
And so, at 10:57,
yes,
not 11 o'clock, at 10:57, we got a knock on our door, and I opened it, and I kid you not, somebody opened the door and dropped a doorstop in the door and said, are you guys ready to go? Can I get your bags? Yeah. And I was like, no. We got 3 more minutes. This is the Disneyland Hotel.
Yeah.
No, it's not 11 o'clock. And I know that it is the Disneyland Hotel and that they got to turn those rooms over because somebody else is coming.
Right.
But it just felt like, all right, get out.
Well, I think we were slamming them. We didn't get an early in. We didn't get a.
And this isn't noon. This isn't 1 o'clock. This isn't 2. This is 11.
Right. We did get an early check-in, which Shayla requested months before. We did not get a late checkout. Then my other ding on them is I came back from the parks our first day, and walked into the room, and it was like 76 degrees in there. And when we left, it was 71 or 72. And I couldn't get it to go down. And so I called them. I said, can you send maintenance? And they said, well, we have this, this eco-friendly thermostats now that if you're not in the mood, if there's nobody moving in the room, the air conditioning doesn't run. And I go, what? And I said, so how does that work at night when you're asleep? And the lady on the phone says, I don't know. I've never stayed in one of her rooms. That was her response to me. I thought that was, first of all, you don't tell somebody that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I said, well, then send maintenance. So maintenance, and I will say this, the good part, maintenance showed up in like 10 minutes. I mean, they were there. 2 guys.
Yeah.
And they're talking to me, and they said, yeah. I said, no, it's going to go off. And I go, that ain't going to work.
Right.
I mean, I'm a polar bear. I want it 65 degrees in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so they said, well, we can override the system for only 24 hours. And I said, well, that's fine. We're leaving tomorrow, so that's a big deal. So they overrode the system, and I was able to knock it down to 65. But here's my point. That's just bad. That's bad planning for your guest who, hey, it was the hottest week I've ever been in Anaheim.
Yeah, it was hot.
And I came back. I was burning up. I wanted to I want to take a shower, be cool, and it was hot when I got there. And in Orlando, you can leave your thermostat at a certain level if you leave, and it pretty much stays that way. They may turn it up, but it's not automatic.
Yeah.
Because, that would be miserable. And so I know it's California and it usually doesn't get that hot, but still, I just think, hey, redo the thermostats, figure them out. Because if I'm there and I'm staying at night and I don't know it goes off at night, I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night. I'm going to be sweating.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sweating.
Well, I mean, this is a theme park hotel, so you have to, you're either sleeping or a lot of people are going to be out and in the parks.
Right.
And the worst thing ever is when you've had a day where you're out hot and sweating in the parks, and then you walk into a hot room. Yeah. I mean, that's awful.
So let's give it a star rating, 5 stars. What are you going to, on a 5-star scale, what are you going to give it?
Man, that's hard.
I know. It's not for me. I already know what I'm going to give it.
Well, okay. I feel like I have to give it 2 ratings.
Well, no, you can give it half. You can go like...
No, because I feel like it's the Disneyland Hotel. I wanted to stay there more than anything in my life. But if I take it, if I forget the fact that it's the Disneyland Hotel, I'd give it a 3.
I give it a 3.5.
Yeah.
And I give it a 3.5 mainly because of the customer service issues and the air conditioner issue, and that's why I give it a 4 or 5-star hotel should not have that customer service problem. And
I do want to add, this is not a cheap hotel room.
No, it's expensive.
I've stayed at a few $1,000. This is not a $1,000 a night hotel room, but I've stayed at a few premium hotels, luxury hotels, and this isn't quite a luxury hotel, but you walk into a place like that and they make you feel like a king.
Right.
And there were some times when we stayed at this where this is a $500.
Hey, we didn't talk about the guy down at the bellhop.
This is a $500 a night plus hotel, and no early check-in. They kick you out 3 minutes before you had to go, and then and I did think the
bell service was not as good.
The bell service wasn't great. There was
one guy.
There was one point when we walked down there to drop off our bags. There was a line of 12 people. Yeah, I counted them. 12 people in line, and there's a guy standing behind the counter, not doing a thing.
Not doing anything.
I
mean, maybe his job was to answer the phone, and that may have been legit, but he could have been talking to people. He didn't even talk to anybody. He was just ignoring everybody, and that was it. So,
for $100 a night hotel,
if I separated service, if I separated service and the mechanical issue, if I separated, I'd give the room a 4.5 star.
Sure.
I think the room was really nice. It's not the best room I've ever stayed in, but it's definitely in the top 10 or 11 rooms I've stayed in. So that would be, if you want to split it.
I'd give the service a 2.5. Maybe.
Yeah, I'd give the service 2.5. I mean, I just don't think it was that good. And that's the front desk staff.
Yeah.
That's mainly the front desk, which should be their top people. And it may be corporate policy. It may not be the people, but it sure came across that. But anyway, so our tip for the day. Here's my tip. You want to know my tip for the day?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Is stay across the street on Harbor Boulevard where you get a comfortable room, not a great room. You get a comfortable room and you get a free breakfast, and you're closer to Disneyland than you are the Disneyland Hotel. That's my tip for today. I just don't think I don't think that hotel is worth $500 a night.
Yeah, I mean, I love it, but even though in my other
I think it was fine. I think it
Yeah.
was great for you because you've been dreaming about it.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great gift for Natalie to give you.
Yeah.
And you loved
it. And it still is my number one thing
it's
on
still
my
your
trip.
number one thing. But if I had to be honest,
But this
from
is a
hotel-
critique.
This is a critique. If I had to be honest, I would rather stay at the hotel we stayed at if I could get some decent pillows. Those pillows were awful. I would rather stay there than at the Disneyland Hotel, and you can save money, and you can be closer to the Disneyland park. So that's my tip for today. And so, that's our review. Hey, if you get a chance, hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. And visit our store at thecreativevisualist.com. The address is in front of us, and it's in the show notes. And with that,
I'm Shaler.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we are the Tomorrow Guys.
Did you say my time's running out? This guy just said my time's running out.
I thought it was kind of logical.
What? You just said my time's running out.
When are you ever going to get to ride these slides again?
What?
And you said you're 50-something years old. All the more reason your time's running out.
That's crap. You're sitting there making fun of my age. With a friend like this, right here, this guy right here, with a friend like this, you don't need enemies. I promise you. He upgrades to first class. Then he sits there and tells me I'm old, that I need to ride the ride over here.
Hey.
What?
Both ways. I just got it today on the way back.
I'm not talking to him.